Win, lose, or draw boxing live, man. Checking in. So, basically, there was a media workout with Errol Spence and Jamel Charlo and Coach Derek James about a day or two ago. And I'm basically here to just talk about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford and the possibility of that fight happening and basically what Errol Spence said. It's going to be a pretty short video. I just kind of want to touch up and basically, talk about that for a split second. So, I think it was Fight Hub or Fight Hype. One of those people, they asked Errol Spence, what's going on with Terence Crawford? How's that fight looking? Is it ever going to happen and whatnot? And Errol Spence basically kept it real, man. I agree with him. He said, let me take care of my side of the block first. I'm with PBC. I'm with Al Heyman right now. I have a few people here. Danny Garcia and Sean Porter are about to fight for the WC belt, the most prestigious belt in boxing. He's Errol Spence is basically saying, let me take care of my side of the block first. We don't have a belt yet. That's not a shot at Terence Crawford coming from me, but that's basically the truth. I kind of agree with that. When you get to a level that Errol Spence is that, you paid your dues. You're looking for the belts. He's looking to unify so he can, go up and weight. I'm not necessarily sure what's going to happen when that, how's that going to work? With Jamel. Jamel is 154 now. So how is that going to work with Errol Spence moving up? And if he would decide to go straight past 154 to 160 at his walking around weight, you got Jamal up there. And I see him, unifying that division. I know there's a lot of adversity up there. Derek Yanchenko, Billy Joe Saunders, Triple G, Daniel Jacobs, a lot of others. I agree with, I agree with Errol Spence. I was talking to my friend the other day, and he's like a big Terence Crawford fan. He just believes that the fight's going to go 12 rounds, and he believes that Terence Crawford will be the victor of that 12-round fight. And I believe it's going to be a tough fight. My thing is, I've seen Terence Crawford move forward and go for the kill more than not. I'm trying to keep a fighter at the end of his jab. I don't really see him doing that much. So, Errol Spence, man, he's a killer in there. He's a dog. And he usually goes in for the kill. Very smart fighter though. He's not reckless. He sticks behind his jab and counters really good to the body. How can I put this? I asked my friend, I said, what do you see happening? Do you see, you said this fight's going to go 12 rounds, which I don't believe it's going to go. What do you see Terence Crawford, for the first time ever, keeping somebody at the end of his jab and moving around and boxing them, really strategically, which he does, a good amount of times, but, he's a fighter, man. He has the tendency of bringing a street fight into the ring. And I just don't see him being able to do that with Errol Spence. So I'm like, explain it to me, man. Like, what do you see happening? Do you really see him for the first time ever? And how is he going to win a fight that way? How the judges are going to handle if he does that? Just jabbing and crossing. And, in order for him to win a fight like that, he would have to make, Errol Spence look really silly. He would have to, Errol Spence would have to be just missing all types of punches. And it would kind of have to almost look like a Kell Brooks, in the beginning of that Kell Brooks fight. And I just don't see, Kell Brooks is kind of a big guy, man. I don't see Errol Spence getting that close to Terence Crawford and having that much of a big problem with him. Terence Crawford is a really small guy. I see Errol Spence being able to hit him in his arms and hurt him. So yeah, man, I agree. Like I said, it's gonna be a short video. I agree with Errol Spence. My friend's convinced that Errol Spence is running, ducking, and I'm like, man, you're the only guy in the boxing. You must be a casual boxing fan because you're the only person that, that's convinced that even though people think that this fight is gonna be a hard fight, I see more people giving Errol Spence the props I think it's gonna be more of a hard fight because Errol Spence, not because of Terence Crawford. Um, yeah, I think people have to there's a lot of politics involved in boxing today. I think people need to learn to be a little bit more patient. I'm willing to wait 2 3 years for the Terence Crawford fight. I want to see what Terence Crawford does with Jeff Horn. Um, I'm not like a lot of people that think that this fight is going to be really easy for Terence. Um, you know, Jeff Horn's a really strong. I haven't seen him too much, but he's a very strong guy. Unorthodox. Spin you around and lay on you and wear you down. Um, and yeah, man. I watched the Ricky Burns and Terence Crawford fight the other day, and I believe Terence Crawford had a little bit of a hard time with that small guy, man. So for him to get up there and just abuse Terence Crawford, and then then to go through and then just take Errol Spence's belts, and then what? Is he gonna go and take everybody else's belts and just dominate? Like, I'm not doubting the guy, but sometimes I believe in biting off more than you can chew. I believe in that, and it's like with Lomachenko. Like, do I see him going all the way up to welterweight and then just dominating all those guys too? No, man, no. You know, I see Errol Spence coming out the victor of this fight with with a seventh, eighth round TKO. Yeah. I believe for the first time we'll see Terence Crawford overwhelmed with adversity, and I think he's going to take his first loss with this fight. I don't think it's going to be as easy, whether he wins or not, whether Terence Crawford wins or not. I don't think it's going to be, the fight that my friend thinks it's going to be. And he even said something like, "I'm not saying it's going to be a KO, but at least maybe a TKO." And I'm like, "Wow, do you know what you would have to do to TKO Errol Spence? Like, you would have to have him on the back foot the whole fight." Even from an amateur background, man, I've never seen Errol Spence look overwhelmed. And I've seen, Terence Crawford had a hard time with Gamboa, that small guy. And, do I really see Terence Crawford just coming up and just dominating Errol Spence? Like, like, in order for him to beat Errol Spence, he would really have to dominate. And for this fight to go 12 rounds and Terence Crawford to come out the victor, I believe that he would have to make Errol Spence look completely silly and just make him miss so many punches and, just overwhelm him. Good lucks to both of the guys, man. Good lucks to both of them. I like both fighters. Errol Spence, I've been very vocal with a lot of friends and people and on social media that, Errol Spence, that's my guy right there. I believe in him. Win, lose, or draw, he has it all. Same goes for Terence Crawford, man. But like I said, we'll see. I just kind of want to touch ground with that and say, yeah, man, I agree. Take care of your side of the block. If Terence Crawford gets a belt, go grab that belt too. And I'm just happy that Terence Crawford is one of those guys that's willing to jump in the ring with him. Everybody else seems to be running, man. Good luck to Errol Spence with Ocampo. And yeah, man. WLDB, man. WLDB, man. Signing out.